welcome to part 12. Apologies for the delay. As you saw in the last video, I managed to break the spray gun and knock the cup off it, and even though the clear coat is coming today, there's just so much noise going on here. I'm going to add to it, by the way. I've ordered the clear coat. I've managed to order a new cup from China, which is going to take 3 weeks to get here, so what an idiot. Anyway, whatever, we are where we are. So I have been using this time to crack on with the other bike 4. I think we can give this bike a bit of a run with the fuel bottle, so let's see how it goes. By the way, this is going to be real. I haven't run this bike, the fuel bottle's completely empty, the engine's stone cold, I've not run it, so this is a real video. I know a lot of these just first time start and starts on the button. Yeah, what a load of bollocks, really. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure that this carb isn't going to leak. And if you remember rightly, the history of this engine, this carburetor is actually the original carburetor off Cody's bike, which was very rough. Well, it wasn't super rough, but we had to clean it. It's got some of the internal, some of the new carburetor, so it's sort of a bit of a mix and match. But we've no idea whether it's going to hold fuel yet, so let's just see how we get on with that. The first step, make sure it doesn't leak any fuel. Okay, it's not really on very straight, is it? Yeah, and that's flooding a bit. We'll have to investigate that, find out why that's doing that. In fact, sod it, let's run it. Nothing. It's useless. Right, okay, so you can see that the plug's completely dry, so there's definitely something not right in the carb. It seems to be flooding and the plug is completely dry. Right, let's have a look at that. I think we might have got to the root of the problem. So I've been taking the carburetor apart, changed the flow type, played with the seal, played with everything. I can see that the actual overflow in this carburetor, I'm going to make that out, is not straight, it's bent, and I suspect it's leaking. So I swapped the float bowl, of course predictably it carried on leaking, and I think it was the O-ring seal on the top. So we swapped the O-ring seal over, which is gone really horrible, and has even split when I tried to clean it, so that's how bad it is, and we're good. So let's bang the carburetor back on the bike and see how we get on. So you might have gathered there that we've found a bit of a problem, quite a weird problem. When you take the ignition off, the engine still runs. In fact, if you hit the run stop, the engine still runs, which is obviously is quite dangerous. We don't want that. And even if you just disconnect the battery, pull the fuse, the engine continues to run. So something's clearly wrong here. So we'll have to have a little dig, have a think, and see if we can work out what's going on. Okay, I think I've cracked it. So I think what the problem was that there's the earth wire which earths the magneto when the ignition's in the off position, or when the run stop's in the off position, is broken here, up in the loom here somewhere. So instead of opening the loom, trying to find it and mess with it, I've just run another wire through. So I put a double connector onto the coil there, which is the ignition line, and then I've just run that up, and I've cut into where it would normally go in. See that? And then I've fed it. So one goes to the ignition switch, and the other side goes off to the run stop. Okay, right, so that should be it. I don't know if I'll be able to do this with one hand with half the bike in pieces, but anyway. Yes. Okay, ignition back on. Start again. Excellent. Right, I think that's it. I'll put everything back together. See how it goes. Okay, so this is probably worth explaining this a little bit better, what's going on, how the ignition system works, and what I've done to fix it. Mainly for my own use, because if it goes wrong again, the wiring diagram is completely wrong. It's not even the right design, it's the wrong colours and everything. Okay, so so starting here at the mag and generator. So the generator split into two parts. One set of it is just the basic generator, and that's yellow and some other colours. Not quite sure what the others are. I think it's only 2 phase, but it might be 3. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Anyway, one of them is definitely yellow. So for the mag, there's 2 wires, which is a little bit bizarre. Black, red, and blue, white. Okay, they go to the CDI unit. Okay, bizarrely they're on different plugs. So blue, white's on this plug, but red, black's on the small plug. I don't quite understand why that is. Anyway. Okay, so it's a CDI system, a capacitor discharge ignition, not to be confused with TCI, which is transistor controlled ignition. This works in exactly the opposite direction to a point system, which a point system has 12 volts at the coil all the time, and then it breaks the contact, and it's the drop in voltage that causes the secondary voltage. This works in the opposite direction. The 0 voltage on the system, when the mag fires, it fires a big pulse of energy at the CDI charges that up and discharges it at the right point. Okay, so it fires that back. There must be more wires here. I think one must be a sensor wire. It's one of these here that I've not recognised. It might be this white blue, or it might be this white. I can't remember what the colour is. I've lost the plot. I'm going off the point anyway. So the CDI then fires a pulse. Okay, so the reason why my one wasn't working. So I'll just go through the system actually first. So first of all, the actual ignition wire is blue-white. Now this really fooled me, because I thought this was blue-yellow. It's not yellow, it's just really faded. The white has gone a really weird colour, and I swear blind that it'd be yellow. It's not, it's white, and I can check that continuity. Okay, so this blue-white, it comes out of here, and it goes to the side stand switch. Right, when the side stand switch is down, it earths that to green, and that prevents the system from firing, because it's earthed the line. Okay, most people disconnect that. That's disconnected. I'd recommend you do disconnect that. Okay, then it goes to the coil. Okay, right, it also branches out and goes underneath through the headstock and behind the headlamp, right, where it branches off. One side goes to the ignition switch, right, and one side goes to the run stop button. Okay, so covering the ignition switch first. The ignition switch actually makes contact when it's in the off position, which is what you'd expect. So that when the ignition is off, it earths the line to green. Okay. When the ignition's in the on position, the switch is open and it doesn't earth it, and so allows the voltage to hit the coil. Same with the run stop button. When you hit the run to run position, it's open. When you hit the run stop to the close position, i.e. you put it into not run, it earths. Okay, right, and that's what's happening. And of course my problem here is where this cross is, that's where my brake was. So I've just basically run a wire from the coil to here and from here to here, and that's the problem solved. So that's basically how the system works. Right, so we'll leave part 12 there.
I'm happy with that. Engine's running. We should all be good. So, let's see it. So we'll see you on the next one.